It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Senator Benjamin Cardin, Chairman of the U.S. Helsinki Commission.
Alex, thank you very much, and thank you for your leadership in bringing about this conference. I apologize to the panel because I know this is the substance of today's conference, and I want to make sure that I don't trespass too long on their time. And I appreciate the courtesy of allowing me just to share some thoughts on the 70th anniversary observance of Cotton Path to Reconciliation of Poland and Russia. To Dr. Billington, thank you very much for your hospitality here at the Library of Congress. We appreciate that very much. As Alex pointed out, I chair the U.S. Helsinki Commission, and I'm a senator from the state of Maryland. I mentioned the fact that I'm a senator from the state of Maryland. I know you heard from Senator Mikulski a little bit earlier. We are proud in Maryland, in Baltimore City, to have the Cotton Memorial. Now, it's located right in downtown Baltimore, in a part of our city that was neglected for too long and now represents the renaissance of Baltimore City. It is to set the record straight so that the people know that what really happened. As you know, for a long period of time, it was blamed by the Russians on the Nazis. Russia finally started to acknowledge responsibility in the early 1990s, and with some press reports, and then in 1992, President Yeltsin made available the order signed by Joseph Stalin ordering the execution of the Polish individuals, and most recently the exchanges between Russia and Poland are certainly very, very positive signs. And we really do acknowledge the progress that has been made in Russia in dealing with setting the record straight. But there are still additional improvements that must be done. There's still need for additional action. And first and foremost is that Russia needs a clear and unequivocal apology to the Polish people for what was done 70 years ago. I say that because of the importance not just to setting the record straight, not just to deal what is right, but it's important for Russia to do this for its own sake. Dr. Billington talked about that a little bit earlier, and I have a quote from Dr. Billington. I wasn't here when he gave his presentation, so maybe I'll just repeat what he said. But quoting from his book, Russia in Search of Itself, Dr. Billington said, "This condition of denial impacts on a society in ways that can never be understood, let alone remedied by roundtable discussions, even those that may someday be convened after all the mass graves and buried documents have been unearthed. Words alone will never provide a roadmap into a happy future for those who once thought they stood on a mountain. They now know that there is no easy way out of their valley, and the shadow of massive innocent death still hangs over it." So for Russia, for its future, it's important that it acknowledge and apologize for what happened under the Stalin regime. But the important obligation Russia also has is to make complete disclosure of all the archives and all the records. It's important to be able to document exactly what happened 70 years ago, how it happened, with the original documents itself. That's the only way that we can teach and learn from what happened. We must seek history as taught and told in an historically accurate way. And only by the release of that information will we be able to complete our obligations to future generations. It's that way that we can achieve our principal objective, and that is to mitigate and hopefully prevent these types of atrocities in the future. In this regard, I would note that the OSCE participating states recognized the importance of remembrance at Krakow in 1991 at the Krakow Cultural Symposium. They agreed in particular to preserve protect these monuments and sites of remembrance, including most notable extermination camps and related archives, which are themselves testimonial to the tragic experiences in their past. Such steps need to be taken in order that those experiences may be remembered, may help to teach present and future generations of these events, and thus ensure that they are never repeated. So, yes, we have made progress. More needs to be done. Our goal is the prevention of future atrocities. And in that respect, we have a mixed record. When I take a look at what's happened in the OSCE states, the states of Europe, Central Asia, and North America, during my short tenure in the Congress of the United States, we know that there were atrocities in the former Yugoslavia, Srebrenica tragedy, not too long ago, the conflicts between Russia and Georgia, still taking place, Armenia and Azerbaijan, and the list goes on and on. So we still have work to be done, but I am proud of the work of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe and the work of the United States Helsinki Commission. I am proud of OSCE's field missions, which I believe has prevented conflicts from starting and has helped resolve some of our conflicts that have been frozen for too long. I am proud of the record that the U.S. Helsinki Commission has in standing up for human rights, the work that we've done in advocating for minorities, such as the Roma community, its initiative to implement best practices within the OSCE states on tolerance. All that is an outgrowth from how we have seen hatred and bigotry turn into atrocities, which is our obligation to prevent from happening in the future. Today, we also honor the horrific sacrifices of Poland in the Second World War, representing patriotism at its best sense of the word. It's right for us to be here today to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Cardin tragedies. As a senator from Maryland, as chairman of the Helsinki Commission, and as a citizen of the world, I'm proud to be with you today, and thank you for being here to share this moment.